Hi, we'll be starting the sums on valuation. To understand the sums or the practical aspect, first need to know the theory. Now I have made an entire video on the provisions with respect to value of supply. Now that you need to refer first and then only you can understand the sums. Now the value of supply under GST is contained under section 15. Section 15 itself has around 5 subsections. For the sums, currently 3 subsections are important. The first is the section 15 subsection 1, which says that the value of supply will be the transaction value. Simply meaning that GST is levied on the value of supply, And what do you mean by value? The transaction value, what amount was paid in the transaction. For example, if you go to buy a car and you pay 5 lakh rupees to the dealer, the value becomes 5 lakh, and on this amount the GST rate will be applied. So what is the rate? What is the value on which GST will be applied? It will be the transaction value. This is contained in your section 15 subsection 1. Section 15 subsection 2 and 3 talks of few adjustments that will be made in the value of supply. Now section 15 subsection 2 talks about what all will be included in the value of supply, and section 15 subsection 3 will talk about what all is excluded from the value of supply. In the inclusions, if you refer the video previously, you will realize that there is something called as TRIPS, a code word which I had said. All these 5 things will be included in the value of supply, and what is excluded from the value of supply? It is the discount element is not to be taken in the value of supply. For example, if you bought a laptop for 1 lakh rupees, but the dealer gave you a discount of 10% and you got 10,000 rupees off, and you have to pay only 90,000. Then what is the GST? GST will be levied on what value? It is 90,000. The 10,000 discount will be excluded from the value of supply. So there are other provisions for discount and some conditions for which you need to watch the detailed lecture. Now what is this TRIPS? What all is included in the value of supply? So a small recap. TRIPS is included in the value, and then the GST rate will apply. Now what is TRIPS? All taxes other than GST. So if there is a kind of an entertainment tax, you will include it. If there is a green tax, you will include it. If there is any other kind of tax that is being levied other than GST, maybe custom duty, you will include it in the value, and then the GST rate will apply. For example, if I'm importing goods and I let's say I paid, the goods were worth 1 lakh rupees and I paid a custom duty. Now custom duty is kind of a tax of rupees 10,000. The net figure at which I could get the goods, the landed cost was 1,10,000, for example. So what will the GST apply on? GST rate will apply on 1 lakh or 1,10,000. So they say include this tax in the value of supply. Then this is T, this is R. Now this is also important. This will also be included in the value of supply. For example, if the recipient is paying any amount on behalf of the supplier, so the supplier had to pay the amount, but I end up paying. So what happens? This amount should also be included in the value of supply. For example, if I have bought the goods, I pay 10,000 rupees to the supplier, and I pay another 2,000 rupees to the supplier's agent. I'm paying it to the supplier's agent on the instruction of the supplier. So what is the net cost that I paid to acquire the goods? Supplier ने क्या बोला कि आप मुझे 10,000 दो और मेरे instructions पे आप 2,000 उधर दे दो. So what is the net cost to the buyer? How much did he end up paying in total? So this 10,000 will also be added, and even 2,000 will be added. The value will be 12,000. because this is an amount incurred by the recipient, and it is but common sense that if the recipient is paying any amount in any fashion, directly or indirectly, to get the goods, that means the goods are worth that much. That is why the recipient is paying so much. Third, any incidental packaging, like maybe a packaging cost, incidental expenses, traveling, etc. All of this will be included. Now TRIP, P is for any penalty or late payment will also be included in the value, and then GST will be computed. For example, if I made a late payment, generally suppliers levy a kind of a penalty. Now this penalty is a big sum, sometimes they charge a good amount. Government says that this also you're receiving, the supplier receiving this extra amount also. GST will be levied on this extra amount as well. So the dealer is earning maybe in the form of penalty, even he will have to charge GST on this amount, and even the government will earn on this amount. And third and lastly, the private subsidies. So private subsidies received from any subsidies kind of like a fiscal benefit or a monetary benefit received from any third party. So maybe it is possible that the buyers are paying me 10,000 and someone else is paying me 2,000 rupees. Okay, some NGO is paying me 2,000 rupees. So it is a total, the supplier is getting 12,000 rupees. So this private subsidies are to be included in the value. However, government subsidies are not to be included. Okay, so for example, there are some calculators and the cost of the calculator is 120. Now there is the, let's say, buyers or the customers are paying rupees 100 and 20 some private NGO is paying for each calculator. They'll say we'll bear the cost for certain calculators as our company wants to promote education, so we'll pay the 20. Now question comes up ki boss, customer is paying 100 only, what rate GST should apply? So they are saying that since it's a private subsidy received from a private body, not government, so we will include it in the value of supply and GST will be levied on 120 only. Okay, so this all is to be included and discount is to be excluded. I think we are good to go for the sums. So this was the theory part, which I just took you an overview. The detail you can watch it in the lecture. We'll be seeing the practical questions. Now the practical questions are also divided in certain parts. Let's see how are the practical questions based. So I have divided the practical questions into certain sections. Okay, now the sums for value of supply, you need to understand this very well. Sums can be of two kinds. One is based from the section that we did, section 15 subsection 1 to subsection 5, and then the other part is based on the valuation rules. Okay, we've seen that if the section doesn't apply, then you opt, if subsection 1 to 3 doesn't fall in, then in subsection 4 it is written that to follow valuation rules. So there is a separate video for valuation rules. Currently in this video we'll be seeing the sums related to section 15. Now section 15 is, the sums are divided in two parts. One is the direct calculation and second is the provision based. Now the provision based sums are directly, if you read the provision, it will become very simple for you to solve them. So we have these kind of questions also. Almost all the questions that can be framed from this element will be covered here. Valuation rule parts will be covered in another video. Now section 15 subsection 1, you read the 2 subsection 5, you read that, you will be able to solve the provision based sums. Now we are going into the deeper part, that is the calculation. Okay, now to understand the calculation part and the sums which we will just begin, I want you to know a certain concept before that. Okay, so let's see. So please pay attention to this part and your calculation and the sums will become very simple. So firstly, I want you to answer that GST किस पे लगता है, on what the rate of GST is applied on what is it applied on, can you please tell me? So it is levied on the transaction value. So let's say this is the ट्रांजैक्शन वैल्यू 1 लाख रुपीज, तो उस पे जीएसटी रेट लगेगा. सो व्हाट इज द इनवॉइस वैल्यू? सो वैल्यू प्लस जीएसटी इज इक्वल टू द इनवॉइस वैल्यू, which can also be called as value including GST. Yes or no? I need you to be a little more vocal and understanding. Am I right? Value plus GST is equal to the invoice value, also called as the value including GST. Yes. So what will happen in the sums, in the first type of sums, they will give you this figure. They will give you this figure and they will tell you do a reverse calculation and find us the value of supply or find us the transaction value. I hope I'm being clear. They will give you the invoice value and tell us do a reverse calculation. You will have to do actually here a reverse calculation and come to this figure. Okay, 1 lakh rupees. So I'll just cancel it right now, and this is how the sum will come. And they'll tell us find out the value of supply. This is the value including GST. Now what would you do? I need you to be a little more participating and try to tell me what will be this figure and how will you calculate this. Okay, how will you calculate this figure? Okay, you can tell me the calculation. So if you're thinking you'll do 1,18,000 minus 18%, then you're wrong. That is not the correct answer. Okay, how you have to do it, please understand, and this will be for all your sums here on. You will say this amount is including GST. So how will you do it? Now pay attention. 100 grows on to become at 18%. It grows on to become how much? Agar GST rate, okay, value is 100, GST rate is 18%. Can you tell me what is the amount including GST, the invoice value? It would be 118. I hope you agree till here. 100 grows on to become 118. This 118, this invoice value is including GST. Yes. So can I say 1,18,000, 1,18,000 is also including GST? So this is amount value including GST. Yes. So now what would you do? You would do a cross multiplication to get this answer. So when you do this, you'll do 1,18,000 into 100 divided by 118. Once you do that, you will get a 1 lakh figure here. In your calculator you can check, and then when you do 1 lakh plus 18%, you will get 1,18,000. I hope this is clear. So let's see, let's solve the sums related to this. The first one, illustration. Okay, again repeating, in order to do the sums you will have to read section 15 subsection 1 to subsection 5. You will have to understand the reverse calculation which I have shown you, and then these problems are a cakewalk. Firstly, compute the value of taxable supply. Though they are telling you to find out the value, this part. Okay, so they are asking a reverse calculation sums. They are asking you reverse calculation sums where you will have to do this cross multiplication type. Okay, so from the following information, determine the value of supply of under section as per the provision of section 15 of CGST Act. Now the contracted value of supply including GST. So when I say contracted value, it is a value including GST. So can I say it is the invoice value? It is the invoice value is how much? 11 lakhs. This includes the GST figure. Okay, contracted value of the supply includes, now this figure already includes all these things 1, 2, 3. Okay, now you tell me whether this should be included or it shouldn't be included. In the value, should the cost of primary packaging be included? answer is yes, it will be under section 15 subsection 2 that talks about incidental expenses. Second, cost of protective packing. This also should have been included, which is correctly included. Third, design and engineering charges will also be included. So all these things have been correctly included. No adjustments need to be made. Moving forward, other information. All this is not yet included. Commission paid to the agent by the recipient on instructions of the supplier. So I told you this should be included because if we read section 15 subsection 2, it says anything that the recipient is paying to obtain the goods, this will be included. तो ये included नहीं था, तो हम इसको add करेंगे value of supply में. Okay. Next, freight and insurance charges paid by the recipient on behalf of the supplier. So again, it is paid by recipient to procure the goods. This is also paid by the recipient, so this will also be included. Are you clear with this? So what will be the value of supply in total? So you will add this up, you will come to know it is 1,80,000. So it is the value of supply including GST is how much? 1,80,000. Because common sense है, जब recipient pay करेगा to the freight guy, तो the freight guy must have already loaded the GST into it. So therefore all these figures are including GST. Okay, so यहाँ पे भी दिया हुआ है amounts are inclusive of GST. So when you take movers and packers के साथ में तुम dealing करते हो, so they will charge the value plus the GST onto the recipient. So the recipient is paying both. So all these figures will be added and this will be taken as the value including GST. Okay, 11 lakhs ये सब तो पहले से ही included था 1 2 3 तो बराबर है. ये सब included नहीं था तो हमने include कर दिया, तो 1,80,000 is the correct figure. Okay, so we'll say the value including GST is how much? How much did we get? 11,80,000. What is the GST rate? GST rate is how much? GST rate is 18%. So we'll put it up here, 18%. Okay, and then we'll calculate the value. Can you tell me what figure it is? How would you do it? So we'll say something 100 plus 18% is giving me 118. 100 plus 18% is giving me 118. So I can get these figures by doing a cross multiplication. Okay, so we will see in the solution. So this is the solution. This is the solution. So the contracted value given was 11 lakhs. It correctly included all these things, but it had not included the commission paid to the agent by the recipient, and it had also not included freight charges which was paid by the recipient. So we'll include it and we'll come to know the cum value, that is the value including GST is how much? 11,80,000. Okay, so we know this is the value. Now we have to figure the other components. So what will we do? 100 at the rate 18% grows on to become 118. So there are different methods of doing it. It's a very simple calculation. Value plus GST rate will give me the value including GST, figure including GST. Now we know कि 11,80,000 is including GST. It's a cum value. So we'll write it here. 11,80,000. 11,80,000 is including GST. Now you do a mere basic cross multiplication and you will get the answer, that is 10 lakh rupees. I hope this is clear. It's very simple. Okay, so the value of supply is 10 lakhs, इसके ऊपर तुम GST रेट 18% लगाओगे तो तुमको 1,80,000 आएगा and the total will be 11,80,000. Clear? So these are the working notes. So generally in finals you also have to mention the working notes. So you can read it up, the working notes and the reasons why we are doing it. Next we'll be seeing is your illustration 2. Now illustration 2 is saying compute the value of taxable supply. Now if you see, any dealer will include all his cost, will also include his profit, and then he will sell the goods. He will determine the sale price, and on this sale price the GST will be levied, which will be called as the value including GST or the invoice price, right? This is simple. So we know that the invoice price will include all cost, it will include the profit, and it will also include the GST element. So this figure, invoice price, is given here, that the value of a machine including GST is 15 lakh. So the value including GST, so we can infer that this is the invoice price. It includes all these 5 elements. So you tell me whether these 5 things should have been included, yes or no. So taxes other than GST, it should be included. Read your section 15 subsection 2a. Abatement and loading charges, consultation charges, testing charges, inspection charges, all are incidental and related to the sale. The supplier has incurred all these costs, he will include it in the value correctly and then sell the goods. So all these have been correctly loaded. So 15 lakhs is the correct figure. He should have included all these figures. Now let's see the other information. Here this is not included in the value of supply, and now you need to tell me whether it will be included or it wouldn't be included, and if it is included, as per which section. So a subsidy received from the government, would it be included in the value of supply? So answer is, it is a subsidy received from the government, so it won't be included. Only private subsidies will be included, as we had seen in your section 15 subsection 2 subclause E, okay, which says that subsidies directly linked to the price excluding the subsidies provided by the government. So this subsidies included by the government should not be included. Further, subsidy received from a third party, okay, so this would be included in the supply. So this is the first thing that we would have to add. So it's 15,50,000, and again this is as per section 15 subsection 2 subclause E. Now trade discount actually shown separately. Now we know trade discount is to be excluded from the value of supply. So this is not to be taken into consideration since it's a discount, and that is given as per section 15 subsection 3 gives you the discount provisions. So let's see. So valuation, value of supply is 15 lakhs less everything was there, but trade discounts is to be eliminated, or is to be removed, or is to be excluded from the value of supply, and we will add the subsidy received from a third party. Once you do that, you come to know the value including GST. So then you do your calculations, which is something like this, that 100 grows on to become, at the rate 12%, grows on to become 112. Okay, so 15,26,000 is including of 12% GST. So what is the principal amount? So you do a cross multiplication and you will come to know the answer is 13,62,500. Okay, so it's a relatively simple sum. Then the working notes also you need to write, very important, especially in finals. The working notes also make a very important part of. If we see the next question, which says that compute the value of supply as per section 15 and the rules thereof. The contracted value of the price including the GST is 10,56,000. So this is the invoice value, which includes the value plus the GST. This contracted price includes the following elements. So it already is inbuilt. So we'll see if there is any adjustments need to be made. Cost of drawing and designs. Now this should have been included, since all the kinds of cost which the supplier is incurring, he will load it all into the cost of the goods. So this is correctly loaded or included. Cost of primary packing also to be included. Cost of packing at the buyer's request is also to be included. Freight and insurance. Now this is all related to the sale. So all of this should be included in the value of supply. So all these four things have been correctly included in the value of supply. These are all incidental to the sale. It is incidental and therefore it will be included in the value of supply. So no further adjustments need to be made since they are already included. Then coming to your discount of rupees 6,000 was given by the supplier at the time of supply of goods and the GST rate is 5%. So discount is to be excluded from the value of supply. So first thing is the discount of rupees 6,000. Okay, discount is of 6,000. So from the value of supply we will remove the 6,000. You will get the correct value. And then we will say that this amount includes 5% GST. So therefore, what is the value of supply? So there are multiple ways of doing it. You could say this is 105. This is 5 and this is 100. Okay. So you can do your cross multiplications to get to these figures as well. Okay. So there are multiple ways and all the calculations are simple. You can also follow our original method where we had said 100 grows on to become 105. So 1,50,000, what is 100? Okay, that's how we are done. Let's begin with the next question. Mr. X, located in Jaipur, purchases 2,000 drawing boxes for rupees 2 lakhs from Stationers Limited. So we have Mr. X, who is the buyer, and he has bought it from S Limited, Stationers Limited, who is the supplier. Okay, they have bought 2,000 drawing boxes for rupees 2 lakhs. Right, this is the price. Mr. X, the buyer, has purchased 2,000 drawing boxes for 2 lakhs from the Stationers Limited. Simple. Now Mr. X's son, okay, iska son is an employee in Stationers Limited. So he turns out to be an employee of Stationers Limited. Now the price of the drawing boxes in the open market is rupees 120 per piece. अब उसको क्या रेट से मिला है? उसको 2,000 ड्रॉइंग बॉक्सेस 2 लाख रुपए के मिले हैं. मतलब एक बॉक्स कहीं ना कहीं उसको क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करोगे तो 100 रुपीज का पड़ा है. So the costing that he has got is 100 rupees per box, whereas in the open market it is 120 rupees. Now tell me, what pricing should you take? Should you take that the price of the goods is rupees 100, or you should take the price of the goods is 120? Now firstly, tell me one thing. Is the buyer and the supplier related? Now if you see, the definition of related is given in your section 15 explanation. In that it is written that person shall be deemed to be related persons if the employer and the employee are related. So both of them are related, then they will be considered. So the employer and employee are considered to be related. In the given case, is the employer that is Stationers Limited an employee, the supplier and the buyer? No, the buyer is the parent and the supplier is a separate person. So here we will take rupees 100 only and not 120. Second is, nowhere in the question is it given that this relation is affecting the actual value or the transaction price. So there doesn't seem a correlation. Merely because you're an employee doesn't mean that you've got the discount. So the question is not suggesting that such relation is affecting the value, and therefore we feel that it is a genuine transaction value, can be trusted, and we will take 100 rupees per box and rupees 2 lakh rupees as the value of supply. Simple. 2 lakh rupees because we don't see any kind of relationship influencing or anything like that. The supplier additionally charges 5,000 rupees for delivering the goods to the recipient's place. So in addition, so we can say that the value of supply is 2,05,000 rupees is the value of supply. Simple. So that is what they have given you, that incidental price such as transportation should be included. The transaction value will be 2 lakhs plus 5,000, that's 2,05,000. So you have to read it from section 15 subsection 1, which talks about transaction value, and section 15 subsection 2, which is about incidental expenses, and also the explanation to related party. Moving forward to the next question. Now you have Floral Advertisers conceptualize and design the advertising campaign for a new launched by Jupiter Stamping Limited for a consideration of rupees 25 lakhs. So Floral Advertisers conceptualize and design the campaign for Jupiter. So we can say the Jupiter is the recipient and we have Floral the supplier of services. Floral is a supplier of services for a consideration of rupees 25 lakhs. So iske beech mein recipient is going to give 25 lakh rupees. Further, Floral owed rupees 4,50,000 to one of the vendors in relation to the advertising. Now Floral, the supplier, owed the rupees 4,50,000 to its vendor. So एक vendor था of Floral, they had to pay rupees 4,50,000. Who had to pay? Floral had to pay its vendor in relation to the advertising provided to Jupiter. Such liability of Floral, so Floral was liable to pay, was discharged by Jupiter. So ये जो payment था इस Floral को करना था, but ultimately it has been incurred by the recipient Jupiter. Now Jupiter Private Limited delayed the payment of consideration and thus paid rupees 50,000 interest. अब Jupiter is a recipient, उसने थोड़ा delay payment भी किया, तो it had to pay 50,000 also, plus it also paid this amount, and the total transaction value was 25 lakhs. Okay, determine the value of taxable supply made by Floral Advertisers. Can you tell me? It's a fairly simple question. तो 25 lakhs तो include होगा ही, जैसे वो लोग ने decide किया था, plus so this guy is going to pay 25 lakhs प्लस इट हैज ऑल्सो डिस्चार्ज दिस अमाउंट, तो ये भी ऐड हो जाएगा 4,50,000. Plus, since it has also made a delayed payment, this will also be added. So all these figures will be added. Okay, service charges, payment made by this will be added, paid by recipient, which the supplier was liable, is also to be included in the value of supply as per section 15 subsection 2. And interest and delayed payment, interest or any penalty on delayed payment is also to be included as per section 15 subsection 2d. Adding all of that, you will get the value of supply, that is 30 lakhs. So a fairly simple question again. Let's go to the next one and see if it is a bit challenging. Okay, so Supreme Foods gets an order for supply of processed foods from Hotelia Limited. So they get an order for supply. So we can say Hotelia is the supplier, and so from this Supreme Food Limited gets an order. So Supreme Foods will be actually supplying and Hotelier will be the recipient. Okay, clear till here? Gets an order of processed food from Hotelia. So Hotelia has ordered, and Hotelia Limited wants the consignment tested for gluten or certain specified chemical residues. So Hotelia, who is going to receive certain processed food, wants this to be tested. Supreme Food does the testing and pays a testing charge of rupees 50,000. So यहाँ पे उसको टेस्टिंग करवाना था. So Supreme Food made a payment of rupees 15,000 for testing before delivering this food. Supreme Limited argues that such testing fee should not form a part of the consideration for the sale, as it is a separate activity. Now we've seen that all incidental expenses are to be included. So this will obviously be added into it will be included into the value of supply. Why? Because we know that the supplier inbuilds all the cost and the profits and then loads it to the buyer. Okay, so that total, all the cost is to be included, including this cost as it is incidental. Let's see what's given in the answer. Section 15 subsection 2 provides you certain inclusions. Section 15 subsection 2c says that amount charged for anything done by the supply at or at the time of delivery shall be included in the supply. Such would be included. The testing fee should be added to the price arrived at the taxable value of the consignment. So it's pretty simple, that anything that the supplier is incurring, he will load it onto the recipient, and the recipient will be paying on all those factors. Moving forward, your value of taxable supply. Subsidy received to be added into the value of supply. Now let's take an example of subsidy. So Vikas Charitable Institution makes a substantial donation each year to a reputed private management institution to subsidize the education of low income groups who have gained admission there. The fees of these individuals is reduced, coming to 1 lakh a year compared to rupees 5 lakhs for other students. So कहीं ना कहीं बहुत ही massive amount of subsidy दे रहे हैं, where the fees comes up to 1 lakh compared to what it would have paid, that would be 5 lakh rupees. तो खाली उनका fees 4 लाख से कम हो रहा है. Now what would be the taxable value of such coaching provided by the institution? So tell me, value क्या count होगा? Will we take 5 lakh rupees as the fees, or we will take as 1 lakh rupees as the fees? Would we include the subsidy or exclude the subsidy? So the first thing you need to see who is giving this subsidy. If it's a private organization giving subsidy, the subsidy will also be added into the value and GST will be taken on the total amount. Since it's a private organization and non-governmental, this entire figure would be taxable. So 1 lakh rupees what the students are going to pay plus 4 lakh rupees what you're going to get in the form of subsidy from a private organization. Total value will be taken and GST will be levied on 5 lakh rupees. Okay. And since it is also linked to a particular invoice or a particular price, that is instead of 5 lakh rupees for each student, they will only have to pay 1 lakh. Okay, and it is not made from the government or state government, etc. And therefore it is to be added to the price, that is 5 lakh rupees, and GST will be levied on 5 lakh rupees. Let's go to the next question. Floral advertising gives a interest-free credit period of rupees 30 days for payment by its customers. तो कहीं ना कहीं वो एक an advertising firm gives a interest-free credit period. You pay me after 30 days, it is okay, no interest will be charged for this late payment. One of his customers paid for the supply 40 days after the supply. So the interest-free was only 30 days, but this customer, they paid after 40 days, so 10 days extra. Floral waived off the interest for the delay of 10 days. So 10 days ke liye they said we won't charge. The department wants to add the interest for the 10 days as per the contract. Should the notional interest be added to the value? तो अभी तक तो उस बंदे ने एक्चुअली रिसीव ही नहीं किया, तो उसके ऊपर कॉमन सेंस से जीएसटी लगने का सवाल ही नहीं है और उस कैनॉट बी एडेड इनटू द वैल्यू. बिकॉज इफ यू सी व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय ट्रांजैक्शन वैल्यू, it is the price paid or payable by the recipient or his agent. So is the recipient going to pay anytime or his agent anytime going to pay? Answer is no. So common sense, once waived, the interest is not payable and therefore not to be added into the transaction value. Next question, if we see, Leather Products Limited sells shoes to its dealers. So Leather Products sells shoes to whom it charges the list price minus the standard discount. So जो भी prices है उसमें से हम लोग discount देते हैं और उतना charge करते हैं and pays GST accordingly. Simple, we know that discount is not to be taken into the value. When such shoes remain unsold with the dealers, it offered additional discount on the stock as an incentive to push the sale. Now, when the shoes remain unsold with the dealers, अब क्या होता है, ये Leather Products Limited sell shoes to its dealers, तो उसके डीलर्स को वो लोग माइनस डिस्काउंट, ये वाला is already known at the time of supply or before supply. This is not known, so this discount cannot be added. Okay, it cannot be excluded from the value of supply और ये included रहेगा. Because discount exclude करने के लिए क्या condition है? First of all, it should be known at the time of supply. तो जब Leather Product Limited is giving the shoes to its dealers, तो तभी जो भी डिस्काउंट के बारे में बातचीत क्लैरिटी हुई है वो सब वैल्यू से एक्सक्लूड हो जाएगा. बट विच इज एन आफ्टर थॉट लेटर ऑन, दैट ऑल कैन नॉट बी एक्सक्लूडेड एंड इट विल बी इंक्लूडेड एंड जीएसटी विल बी लेविड ऑन दैट एंटायर अमाउंट. कैन दिस एडिशनल डिस्काउंट बी रिड्यूस्ड? आंसर इज द डिस्काउंट्स वर नॉट नोन, therefore such discount cannot be reduced. Simple. Let's go to the next question. Now, Jitendra Limited, a registered supplier, is a manufacturing taxable goods. So Jitendra is a supplier who is manufacturing taxable goods. It provides the following details of taxable supply made by it for the month of March 2019. So it provides the following details of taxable supply. तो ये सब उसने taxable supply किया है. So list of goods supplied excluding of GST, subsidy received from the government, CGST, SGST chargeable on tax, tax levied by municipality, secondary packaging. आगे भी पढ़ते. Jitendra offers 2% discount on the list price. The list price is after considering the subsidy received from central government. However, other charges taxable are charged to the government, to the customer and above the list price. Calculate. Now, the first we need to understand क्या करना क्या है इसमें. We need to calculate the value of taxable supply made by Jitendra for the month of 2019. So what we have to do, we have to find out the value of taxable supply. So let's start. You tell me what all will be included and what all will not be included. List of the goods supplied exclusive of GST. Common sense है ये value of supply में add होगा क्योंकि उसने actually ये सब supply किया है. सब्सिडी रिसीव फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट इज एग्जेम्प्ट, तो ये वैल्यू में नहीं काउंट होगा. इट विल बी एक्सक्लूडेड सिंस इट इज अ सब्सिडी रिसीव फ्रॉम गवर्नमेंट. CGST एंड SGST चार्जेबल ऑन गुड्स, तो ये भी वैल्यू में इंक्लूड नहीं होगा. वैल्यू में क्या इंक्लूड होता है? ऑल चार्जेस ऑल टैक्सेस अदर देन GST. सो दिस इज अ चार्ज टैक्स लेविड बाय म्यूनिसिपैलिटी, दिस विल बी एडेड. This is already there, and secondary packaging is like an incidental cost. All these three things will be added. Further, Jitendra offers 2% discount on the list price. Okay, so ये list price है, इसमें से उसको 2% minus 2% डिस्काउंट लेना पड़ेगा हमें. 2% डिस्काउंट ले लेंगे बिकॉज वो जनरली देता है. The list price is after considering the subsidy received from the central government. ठीक है, तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का वैसे ही काउंट नहीं करना है हमें, तो इट्स गुड फॉर अस. तो 12 लाख रुपीज minus 2%, and then all these figures will be added. So it's a pretty simple question. So you see the list price is 12 lakh rupees minus the discount, that is 2%. Then everything is excluded, only two things: tax levied by municipality will be added and secondary packing will be added, and this is the value of taxable supply. So very simple question, but an exam question as well. Now let's go to the next question. Comfort Footwear, a registered supplier of Agra. So you have Comfort Footwear, it is a supplier, has a non-moving stock worth rupees 8 lakh rupees of a particular variety of shoes which has become out of fashion. So out of fashion shoes है, maybe gum boots है, and it has now gone off season चल रहा है, rainy season खत्म हो गया, तो out of fashion हो गया, कोई मतलब नहीं है वो shoes का, तो obviously वो less price पे निकाल देगा. It has not been able to find a market in spite of huge discounts offered. So very sad, he's not able to sell his goods. Subsequently, it was able to sell this stock at a very low price of rupees 5 lakh. So he was able to sell this price of rupees 5 lakh rupees to a retailer in Madhya Pradesh. So he was able to sell these shoes to a retailer in Madhya Pradesh who is the recipient, with the condition that the retailer would display the hoardings of Comfort Footwear in all their retail outlets. तो बोल रहा है बॉस मैं आपको डिस्काउंट पे दे रहा हूँ, मेरे लिए आप क्या करना, हम लोग आपको 5 लाख रुपीज, आप मुझे 5 लाख रुपीज दो, मैं आपको शूज प्रोवाइड कर देता हूँ. Okay, so this guy recipient will pay 5 lakh rupees. In return, he will give some out fashion shoes to him. But they've also said ki boss, you know, you're giving me such a low amount, you take these shoes but also do little bit of my marketing. in all your retail outlets put comfort footwear, and everyone will come to know about comfort footwear. Now what is the question? The question is determine the value of supply. तो क्या होगा? Will we take value plus the marketing? Now in the question you see there could be multiple interpretations, but we are nowhere seeing that this was a precondition. Okay, or this is maybe a kind of a request, but it's nowhere affecting the price of the goods. So one interpretation is that since it is not affecting the price of the goods, 5 lakh rupees will only be taken into consideration. However, one has to see the surrounding facts and in a much more detail. If it is anywhere affecting the price, like for example, if you don't do my marketing, then take it for 6 lakh rupees, then pay me 6 lakh rupees, then there would be a difference. But here, since the question is a bit silent and has less facts, we will say that since he not put that if you don't do marketing, this will be my cost, and if you do marketing, this is my cost. If that would be the case, we would be able to understand that marketing is affecting the price. But here there is only one price, and therefore that will only be taken as the value of supply. Let's see to the reason also. In this case, the supplier and the recipient are not related persons. Although a condition is imposed onto the recipient, such condition has no bearing on the contract price. Is it affecting the price? Because if you do my marketing, this is the price. If you don't do my marketing, this other thing will be my price. This is a case of distress sale with a kind of request that ye kar do mere liye. It cannot be said that such supply is lacking sole consideration. The price of rupees 5 lakhs will be accepted as the value of supply. And that is it. We are done with all the questions that can come, possibly come, or have come from the topic value of supply, section 15. Next we'll be seeing the valuation of supply, the rules with respect to that, and its sums.